What's up guys, I'm Mr. Audio, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. I just wanted to pop in here and talk to you about waveforms and how I use them to tell if my mix is done well. So what do waveforms tell us? I've got plenty of videos on waveforms and what they tell us and what they do. So I'll just go over this briefly. Basically, the waveform tells us what the speaker is going to do. If the waveform goes up, the speaker is going to move forward. If the waveform goes down, the speaker is going to move backwards. The further up it goes, the further forward the speaker moves. The further down it goes, the further back the speaker moves. And clipping is when you exceed 0 dBFS, beyond the speaker's capability. And you'll know when you hit this because the speaker will produce an undesirable sound. So personally, when I'm done with a mix and I'm ready to export it, I'll create a brand new track, set it to resampling, mute the track, and then resample different sections of my production to this muted dummy track, just to look at and observe the waveform, to see if my transients are out of control. And if my transients are out of control, the most likely culprits are in the low end, because the way our human ears hear, we're more attuned to mid-range type of sounds. It's the low end that we have to usually boost a lot to hear in a mix. Now, if this problem occurs and your transients are a bit out of control and the low end is the culprit, what will happen when you try to master this track is you'll have trouble getting it louder, or if you do slam it into the limiter, you'll get this pumping sensation. And this is where you can probably use things like sidechain filter to get more of a gluey compression that's more of a consistent waveform, but you're still going to have those really dynamic transients. And dynamics are a good thing. They're not always bad. Having a dynamic track can really make your track hit harder. You might just have to turn the volume up a little bit. Sure, your overall loudness is less with the dynamic track, but your drum hits, your impacts will hit so much harder and be more impactful. And you can always manually turn up the system you're listening to the music on. But if you're going for loudness, the waveform is your #1 key to success. Now, if your transients are out of control and the low-end elements are your problem, you can try boosting the mid-range or saturating the mid-range on these elements and decrease the overall volume of those elements to decrease their overall presence in the mix just a little bit. And this move might make you be able to hear your low-end elements a little better on less than ideal systems. So after I EQ, saturate, compress, and tuck those transients into the waveform a bit better, while still retaining that punch, it should look like the one in green right here. If your track looks like the waveform in red, you still have a little bit of ways to go, I would say, before trying to master it. The reason why I say that is it would be very hard to get the track in red to be very loud. With that much of a dynamic range, your track's going to probably master at like -12 LUFS or something like that. I don't know, I haven't mastered this track. This is a clearly bad example to master, so... Anyway, if you want to get your tracks loud, looking at the waveform is your secret sauce. A good consistent waveform like this lets me know that I've done well in the mix, and mastering this track will be an easy job, and I'll be able to push this track as loud as I want. And if that's your thing, looking at the waveform is your secret. Anyway, that's the video, guys. I hope this helps. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. Mr. Audio, out.